This is Sid and Friends in the morning.
77 WABC.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. Don't know where it goes, but it's home to me and I walk alone. I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps and I'm the only one and I walk alone. I walk alone, I walk alone. I walk alone, I walk up. My shadow's only one that walks beside me. My shallow heart's the only thing that's beating. Sometimes I wish someone up there will find me. Till then I walk alone.
You know, I've got a bunch of artists that I banned from this show. Roger Waters, Pink Floyd will never be played on this show again. Hates the Jewish people. Eric Clapton, hate this one. Hate it. He will never be played again. But I could have sworn a couple of years ago, Lewis, I placed a softer band than Waters and Clapton on this prick,
Yeah,
Billy Joe Armstrong.
I wasn't here at the moment.
Oh, you weren't here?
No, I probably
But I'm pretty
wasn't.
sure that this is Green Day's to love their music, but I'm pretty sure this scumbag was just trashing America years ago, just trashing it, saying, why would anybody live there, go there, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
I'm right?
Oh, I agree.
So I did place the band. Bernard was still alive. You weren't here, I guess.
No, I wasn't.
So that does beg the question. The best defense attorney in the world and my dear, dear friend of 47 years, the great Joseph Tacopina, why in God's name would you ask for a Green Day song?
Because they're one of the greatest groups.
He
in
hates
modern rock and
America.
roll
He
history.
hates America.
Wait a minute.
No, wait a minute. No. He hates America. He said it.
So does Bruce Springsteen, right?
I've never heard Bruce Springsteen. He's written songs that are not very complimentary. I've never heard Bruce say, like Billy Joe Armstrong did, I hate America. Why would anybody ever go there or live there?
First of all, he's never said I hate America. He complains about America, but I think a lot of people do. I think you do. I think Donald
But I live here.
Right?
I can do it. He doesn't. He's English. He's English.
Billy Joe Armstrong is born in Oakland, California, in a ghetto. What are you talking about?
Right.
He lives in America.
He's in America.
You lunatic.
Fair enough.
That's your move. Throw a fact out, make up the fact, and stick with it. He's American, but I don't care.
No, then he's allowed to do it. Then he's allowed. No, then he's allowed to do it.
Okay, he's
That's
an
fine.
American, and he's also a person who does a lot for underprivileged people, but I don't care about that, Sid. I don't care. I agree with you about Roger Waters. He's a lunatic and a piece of garbage. But Billy Joe, anyway, Green Day is who I love. Not Billy Joe and all that. Green Day is one of the great. They revived punk in this country. They're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They have more awards of any group of their.
Well, I don't care about that. I don't care about any of that stuff. Pink Floyd is one of the greatest groups ever, too. But you've made a very good argument. He's American, and therefore it's okay. He can trash America.
Here.
I do it. Then it's okay. Then it's fine.
Thank you.
So that's
Moving
why
right
that's
along.
why you're a great attorney, because your closing argument just now, you won the case. See, here's why I'm a great radio host too, because I can admit that if it was Imus, he would keep fighting you.
You're right. Absolutely right. He'd keep fighting me, or he'd pull his gun out and put it on the table as I was arguing. I'll never forget that day, by the way. I mean, we're in studio, Sid, and we were arguing about something, and of course, he can't lose an argument like you just said. He literally took his gun out and put it on the table right in front of me. And when we went off air, I said, this is televised. You're insane. I'm going to be representing you tomorrow in a gun case now, right? You understand you can't do that. But he was just – so you've never pulled a gun out on me, Sid. I will tell you that.
No, I've never done that. Trump did a 72-minute speech yesterday. And he did bring up the fact that, the DOJ is out to get him. They're weaponized. What they've done is disgraceful. He singled out the district attorney here, obviously. That's scumbag Bragg, and the attorney general, that lowlife James. He went on to talk about this is what the Democrats do and Harris does. And then he brought up the New York cases. Again, he brought them up twice, I believe. But at any rate, you look at what the man was going through last year at this time. I couldn't have you on this show enough because every day was another indictment.
New indictment.
Yeah, but now it seems like there's very little to no talk about that. None.
None, and it's not even part. It's amazing. It really is amazing. I think about this sometimes. I was thinking about it last night. It's not even part of the attack in the campaign for the Democrats. It's not like they say, "Oh, he's a 4-time indicted, once convicted felon," and blah, blah, blah. It just doesn't. It's not even a thing anymore. It's not even.
That's where I disagree. I do believe that September 10th during that debate, that Kamala Harris will try to convince a very stupid public that she was a great law lady and a great attorney general and all these things. She put a lot of people like the convicted felon standing next to me in jail during her great run in California. I think they will go to that time and time again.
I know all about Kamala Harris and her days as a prosecutor. First of all, she never prosecuted a case like the hush money case in Manhattan. You know why? No prosecutor in the United States of America has ever prosecuted a case like the hush money case in Manhattan. That's not what she prosecuted. She supposedly prosecuted violent crime and drugs and all that stuff. But if I were her, I would hide from my record as a prosecutor because she was called out and have found. And so this is not me, just making up things or just trying to spin facts. These are hardcore facts, and they're out there. She actually buried evidence. Her office, and she was behind it, buried evidence on cases where exculpatory material that has to be turned over to the defense that could tend to prove innocence or at least cast shadow on one's guilt, certainly had to be turned over legally, was hidden by her office, was destroyed by her office. More than 50 convictions were overturned. So people went to jail under Kamala Harris's watch wrongfully. Yeah. And later those things were overturned. That's when you're a prosecutor and you abuse your discretion like that, that is one of the worst things, in my opinion, that you could do in the United States. I was a prosecutor, Sid, and that's some serious power you have, and you cannot ever do that. And what the other thing she did, when we talk about, how everyone was up in arms about how Trump separated the migrant families, the children from the parents and whatnot. I mean, you know what Kamala Harris did when she was prosecutor, right? I mean, parents were being prosecuted for truancy of their children and put into jail, taken away from their children if the children were committing acts of truancy. Literally, she was prosecuting parents. Jeez. And putting them in jail. And it was and she was caught on videotape laughing about it. The fact that children were being pulled away from their parents. So, it's like, everyone's reborn now all of a sudden. All of a sudden, everything is new and different. So if I were the Republicans, my counter to any comments about, convictions or indictments would be, you shouldn't be talking about law enforcement or prosecutions, because what you did is as bad as what anyone's ever done in the Justice Department, in this sort of judicial proceedings. It's nothing that is to laugh at, and it's a very serious thing.
Well, the Republicans also claim that that Kamala Harris has been pretty public about her weed use. She likes to smoke pot, and I guess she put away a lot, and I mean a lot, of African American men for weed while she was in California. She jokes around and boasts, kind of like the mayor does here, about smoking weed, yet she had no problem putting away her own people in big numbers in the state of California. That's another bullet.
The hypocrisy, well, this is politics in general, but the hypocrisy is just ridiculous. It really is. Look, if honestly, this is a different topic, but, Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, if you wanted to be serious as a Democrat and you wanted to really have a candidate that I think had some real substance, that would be the one. That would be the one, because that dude is a serious guy. You may not agree with his politics, but you know what he's not, Sid? He's not a socialist. He's not a woke.
No.
He's not one of those woke. He's a moderate Democrat.
The problem is he's Jewish, and I don't care what anybody says about David Axelrod or blah, blah, blah. There was no way that Jew-hating Democrat Party was going to allow her to pick him, bottom line.
Yeah, well, they just lost the state of Pennsylvania probably because of that. And then what I'm hearing is that she didn't pick him because she would be threatened by him. Well, for God's sakes, this is not about you. It's about the betterment of this country.
I heard the
right?
same thing.
And Shapiro actually is a guy. Look, there's a guy who I think one day will be president, honestly. And it's unfortunate that she picked some clown from Minnesota who really is incredibly unimpressive. To be her running mate, but that's
but if you believe that she was intimidated by Shapiro because he came in and took over the meeting, and Jewish guys tend to be very charismatic as it is. So if you believe that was really the reason, then it makes sense to pick the Minnesota governor. I still think the Jew part, her party would not allow her to do it. Let me get to this story too. This is Laken Riley. You all remember when Joe Biden refused to say her name, then he did say her name, and he referred to her as college football head coach Lincoln Riley. Got her name wrong. Laken was murdered. A horrible story down in Georgia. And I guess another member of Laken Riley's murder suspect's family is linked to another violent Venezuelan gang. And this story keeps getting worse.
Yeah. There's a trio. There's three brothers. Those parents really should be very proud of themselves, the Barra family. There's three brothers. There's Jose, the one who's involved in the Riley murder, was charged with the Riley murder and other things. Then there's these two other brothers who are involved in violent crimes. And it's a violent gang from Venezuela where they basically recruit people to come in this violent gang. And they have all these tattoos indicating who they are, and they're coming in through the border. And they're coming in committing violent crimes in New York City and everywhere else. I mean, it's a repeat of MS-13, which started in New York, and it's happening now, and it's sparking national fury. I mean, this is insane to me that this family's they attack cops. That's part of what this family does. This violent Venezuelan gang attack cops. They do purse snatches in New York City. They commit violent crimes and robberies, and of course they throw a murder in every now and then. I mean, it's just unbelievable what's happening. No,
it's terrible. And I know that you had a meeting the other day with a gentleman, and you were right there on 46th and Madison, right by the Roosevelt Hotel, and you see what's going on at that hotel. It's absolutely crazy.
Sid, I was with the number 3 at J.P. Morgan Chase, the number 3, Jamie Dimon, Mary, and then William. And William Sinclair was telling me that he looked out the window of the global headquarters of J.P. Morgan, one of the most important companies in the world and certainly in the United States of America, and looked out the window, and they're spending billions and billions of dollars building another new tower on 47th Street and Madison Avenue. And Madison Avenue is, for us New Yorkers, it's like, it's what we're proud of. It's like, it's the most important real estate in the United States of America.
And no coincidence, that's where your offices are.
Yes. I love saying that.
It's a great view.
Bring that up. Anyway, but he was pointing out, he said the Roosevelt Hotel, is the migrant hotel now, and they have right across the street from their global headquarters where they bring in some of the wealthiest, important people in the world is migrants who are standing outside and, dealing drugs and selling drugs, and it's mind-boggling. And they met with Eric Adams. I know they want him to do something about it, obviously, because they're investing all this money in New York City, and it's why people are leaving in droves.
That's right.
J.P. Morgan won't, but still, it's a crazy.
It's terrible. No, so listen. My history with Eric, and I tried, and we had dinners, we had lunches, and I stopped reaching out, contacting him months and months ago. I'm done with him. I believe he failed us. I think he's one of the most disappointing politicians in a long time because I had really great faith he would come in, replace de Blasio, and do a good job, and he's done a terrible job. Whether it's pro-Palestinians, he's got excuses for everything. Somebody else is in charge. He can't fix it. He can't do it. I find him to be an abysmal failure. But you, too, you also had a good relationship with Adams. Are you still there?
No, I'm with you. I mean, look, and the thing about him is what's disappointing is he's really super focused on his image and his next steps. We need a mayor who's focused just on New York City and fixing this place because it's still the greatest city in the world, but it is a mess right now. It's a mess, and it needs another Mayor Giuliani when Giuliani was the mayor. Like that type of mayor. We need another strong, or Bloomberg. Bloomberg to me was amazing, right? I mean, we need another mayor who's going to have a bit of an iron fist, but at least, keep this city as great as it is. It's one of the greatest cities in the world, not the greatest city in the world. It's certainly the modern day Roman Empire. And for it to be deteriorating the way it is unfortunate. And, I don't want to hear about the mayor of our city out till 2 a.m. at zero bond and talking about being the next presidential candidate and stuff like that. I just want someone that focused on this city. The last guy we had was the biggest clown ever, right, de Blasio. But, yeah, I hear you on Eric. I do hear Eric, and that's disappointing to me, too.
It is. A lot of folks like you and I have other examples. I'm not going to mention them by name, who have befriended Eric and Republicans who have really tried to make it work, and it just hasn't worked. I got to tell you, that's a great appearance. I mean, a great appearance, Joseph Tacopina. Way to do it on a Friday morning. I love you. We'll do it again next week, Joseph. Thank you so much.
Let's go Green Day.
Let's go Green Day. That's it. Tacopina sold me. Nice job, Joseph Tacopina.